Dustin, have fun. Go to your wedding. Get your wife pregnant.
I will.
See you on the other side.
I will. I guess. Okay, hey, guys. We've got Richard here today. I think his handle is The Rich Get Richard. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
They
Boom.
do.
So he's with us today. He's an awesome guy. He's really interesting. He has lots of ideas. At least I've seen on his TikTok about how he's making money, how he's not making money, and lots of strong opinions about things like how the Marines suck, I think. But I want to get started. Richard, I saw this on your TikTok, and I want you to hit me with some truth on this. Is it a good idea to buy a laundromat, or is it a bad idea to buy a laundromat?
I think that if you know what you're doing and that a business is making money, that it is definitely worth the investment. But I tell people this: if you're looking into going to business, or you're looking into trying either starting a business or starting a franchise and stuff like that, just note if you start your own business due to like thievery and due to like mismanagement and not knowing what you're doing, most startups, I think it's like high 90th percentile of startups fail, right? Because people aren't committed to it. They don't have the funding, theft, non-commitment, all that kind of stuff like that, right? But if you have an existing business, or if you're looking into existing businesses where there's tons of them out there that people are selling, and the baby boomer market is, a lot of these baby boomers are eligible for retirement. So they are trying to offload these businesses that have supported their families for years, and their systems and their processes are extremely outdated. They probably don't have a website. They don't have all this other kind of stuff.
Oh, so easy to upgrade.
Yeah, so easy to upgrade. And you could take something like a family laundromat, right? And then you could, automate it. You can probably put credit card systems in there. You can add a wash and fold service. You can add delivery service. And these mom and pop places, they just want to offload it because they've had it in their family for 30 years. But that's most existing businesses, which there are tons out there. And
Dude, I don't even know. Oh, what's that?
I got one for you.
Yeah.
So what people need to know is Mr. Richard here. If you go check out his YouTube longer form stuff, he's been homeless twice.
Yes, sir. Twice.
And right, so homeless to millionaire is not bad. That's pretty good. Now, question is, are you still solo? You solopreneur?
Well, yeah. I'm doing.
You got admins. You got a guy for everything.
I almost wish. I was just talking to someone about that the other day. That I need help. I thought
you're ready for your strike. Okay,
yeah,
okay.
Dude.
All right, this is a cry for help. We're gonna help Richard. So if somebody watching this wants to learn the hustle, let him pay you almost nothing because you're gonna learn how to become a millionaire. So you give it forward first.
Yeah.
So
So it's because I was talking to another individual. His name is William Roundtree, and he crap load of followers. And then I'll just go look at his process and how he's doing stuff, and I'll look on his page. I say, so how do you do this? Who does that? Oh, I have a team that does that. And I say, okay, what about this? Oh, I have a team that do. I'm like, yeah, I'm solo. He said, yeah, I was doing that for years. Like everything that would come to me, I would do it myself. If someone want coaching, I would do it myself. If someone want to sign up for something, I would do it myself. And it's just, you just do it for until you start meeting people or getting introduced to people who are doing something similar that you were willing to pay for once you start making decent money at it. So, yeah, that's
so
in a lot of ways, I actually prefer being solo because you can go quicker and people are great, but there's drama. There's always drama. And it's not even bad drama. It's like, hey, my mom's in the hospital and I have to be gone. It's like they could be the nicest people on earth, but you still have to deal with that. Yeah. And that can get tiring after a while.
And that entrepreneur in you always wants something done a particular way. You can always feel like you can do it better yourself. Right. And it's like the gift and the curse. But sometimes you got to relinquish control and let other individuals do stuff to look.
Doesn't having a shitload of kids help you learn how to let go? I'm on your side, man. So between the two of us, we got 9. Yep. Yeah.
Dustin,
I got 5. You got 4.
I thought Dustin was like low 20s.
No, dude, I got no kids. Oh, yeah. Well,
No. You and I.
Oh, okay. I thought.
Yep. So no, and he is well into his 30s. He just looks like a kid.
I'm I'm a little
Yeah.
baby. I got the
No.
baby face.
He's been blessed with good genes. So yeah, Dustin and I are the same age. If this was a soccer game,
Don't
and
tell
kids
anyone
were
that.
goals,
I love it. Everybody thinks I'm like your little brother. It's just fantastic. I'm okay with it.
Nope, we're the same age. So literally, letting go of control and being kind of entrepreneurial. I don't know. I'm running some boring businesses that have teams and people and processes and staff and contracts, and we got a whole bunch of systems that I have to follow. I end up becoming a servant of this to the system. So even though I'm the boss, like I end up having to submit to the systems all the freaking time, and it's painful. I would much rather, hey, can we just get this done this afternoon? Like, no, we got this to do in this meeting. We forgot to get approval on that. And I'm like, crap, guys, we just got to get the shit done. And so I tell my team, like, I'm the pendulum. Or I'm the, what's the thing on the piano, Dustin? They go, the timekeeper.
The metronome?
The metronome. I'm the metronome of the business. And so if I'm like this, everybody needs to like, okay, this is the mode we're in, right? And if I'm like, if I do, well, it's just, we're just swinging tonight. This is just a good week. That's fine. Do the processes, lock them down, improve them, maybe make some hires. So I find that it goes in and out of the seasons, but how sick of a service would be to empathize with the solopreneurs who are doing pretty well and to go build them little strike teams? Because usually it's the person who can get to, high 6 or low 7 figures alone that then has no idea how to run like 5 people, because they can't even imagine, well, how would I get X, Y, and Z done? Or if I have to spend time training, like how am I going to have time doing the deals? So if you can provide the training and the recruiting for people who work well with hustlers, that'd be a nice little service.
I was thinking about that too. I was thinking about somebody it's almost like it's like a B2B company, but what it is you take somebody and then you dissect their process.
Yeah.
And you like offer them things that they, because you meet people with millions of followers on social media who have a story to tell or who have a product to offer, and they just don't know.
They don't know their own process. They don't even know how to articulate their process. It exists because they're doing it on repeat. But
and then get them assistance, or get them processes, get them coaching programs, or because I'll shell it out.
Right? Like, take my pain away. Like at some point, money is no longer as precious. Your time is, and the like. You're like, holy crap!
Bro,
yeah,
what would you call a service?
$100,000. Here you go.
Like it'd be like an entrepreneur's admin, because like the entrepreneurs out there slinging things, selling things. And
I wouldn't do it in
stuff.
admins. I would do it in teams of 2, because you need to like a couple things. You need to keep a bullet in the chamber so that if one admin needs to get shot, you just right redundancies when you're doing
in case you got to murder them. Yeah, that's great.
No to fire them. Right.
Okay.
So someone might not keep up, and so you never want to put, when it comes to people, like, I just think that you give 2 people, like if it's a full-time job, give 2 people 20 hours and then see how it goes. I don't like hiring, believing this is a full-time ongoing hire until they're into an existing process. So if I'm hiring into a new process hasn't been invented yet, redundancies. But then you need like a project or program manager. And that's a totally different skill set than an executor. Yeah. So like to keep up with one kind of lone wolf hustler, you probably need 3 people. So I would do it in a package of 3. I would go like, here's a project manager. They're 15 hours, 20 hours a week. And then here's 2 admins that help you get stuff done. Or one's got a sales skill set and one's got a admin skill set. But
so you're like plugging in the entrepreneur with a company, because dude, I need this. I would definitely buy this. Actually, right now, I would totally do that. Like, I'm so sick of regulation and figuring out what to do. I know I've messed up on taxes somewhere, right? Like, I would just want somebody
it's easy
to handle
to hire a bookkeeping service and accounning, man. That already exists.
Oh, shit. It's kind of funny, too. It's like when you associate with other entrepreneurs or you have conversations, and then you'll tell them your pain, or you'll tell them your struggles, or you tell them what you're going through, and then they'll say, oh, I know somebody who does that. Oh, I know somebody. It's always like a word of mouth. Like
Right.
I was talking, oh, I got an editor guy, you know what I mean? I have XYZ, and I'm talking to y'all
Yep.
about the microphones, and like, it's like always like you're just constantly leveling up, but it almost should be like a process that's already there, and you just
Heck
take my money.
yes.
And,
Okay,
you know,
okay, Richard. The balloon, Party City? Is that
Yes,
the
sir.
brand? Party City, okay. I'm in there this last month. My son turned 1, my youngest turned 1, and we went and got just a crap ton of balloons. And I'm watching the kids behind the counter, these 18, 19-year-olds doing the balloon thing. And the pipes are already run. They're all like a few feet apart. So you got like 4 people next to just efficiently huge balloons. All they're doing is pulling a little thing like you get from China, off a shelf that's categorized alphabetically, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. They get this one, they get the 5-inch one under B, and they put it on there, balloon string, and they put it in a bundle. I give them $70, and I walk out of there, and they put like 6 minutes of work into this, and I'm thinking like that was probably like $6 of goods and 6 minutes of time of an 18-year-old's time, and I just gave him $70, and there's a line. Like there's people lining up for birthdays or weddings or whatever. And then I talked to the dean of admissions at the local college, and she's like, oh yeah, we like every time we throw an event, like we do a huge like balloon string, we always go to Party City. And I'm like, guys, they're wasting all this square footage on all the cheap crap with the unicorn hats, and like they've got these paper cardboard decorations. They took all their square footage outside of the balloon counter, and they're paying overhead and people and inventory on all these distractions when the gold mine's in this freaking balloon right here, like in these 20 square feet is where 90% of their profit is coming from. Why even have this other thing? So we had this conversation last month. Last night she texts me.
Go ahead.
They're going out of business locally. And so we're like, hey, balloons and bounce houses. Those two things, we just call it BBs, right? And then, like those two things, same place. We'll just wall off the inventory crap and put bounce houses that your kids can go play in. Also, these are for rent, right? So like go play or rent these, just like a show floor. 4 massive bounce houses and balloons. That's all we do. That's going to be profitable. We're like tempted. What do you think?
Okay, so my brother runs a bounce house business. He said it's labor intensive because you got to go pick it up and then you got to clean it. But he said it's profitable because you only buy. It's like no overhead. You literally buy a bounce house for $2,000-$3,000 depending on where you go to get it, and then you just pretty much take it to the person. They pay you a couple $100. But he said also the add-ons is what he makes money on, right? So
okay, like what?
Like chairs, tables, cotton candy machines, and all that kind of stuff. That's where you make your money at, because chairs are one-time expense, tables one-time expense.
So what are these people doing at Party City selling like cardboard like cutouts of a unicorn for $3 when they could have offered me chairs and tables and tablecloths for rent? Like I just need a party. Like I don't need to go decorate every little princess for $6.
And then they'll keep stuff in there from like, say it's like November and they have like leprechauns and stuff like that for the. I'm like, what is this stuff? But
dude,
I bet you that stuff is probably the higher profit margins, and they probably don't make that much on the balloons. They probably just hope that when you go in there to get the balloons that are like low profit margins, that you buy the.
But it was $70 for my balloon stuff, and it was like.
I did some research on this because one day entrepreneur mindset.
You looked into it.
Yeah, I was like, people still go to Party City. How much money they're spending there? Party City made almost like $300 billion or something last year. I don't even know how that one even going out of business.
That
must be a bad location,
crazy.
Like that.
I guess they're everywhere. That would kind of make sense. That just kind of add up a little bit.
But the cost of helium has gone up dramatically. I think that's probably why they're charging so much just for the balloons, because the balloon material is really not it's kind of inexpensive. So the helium and the shipping back and forth helium is probably ridiculously expensive.
Oh yeah, they have to have it shipped probably correctly too. I don't think any Joe Schmo can ship it. Although it's not explosive or flammable or anything like that. But maybe it's toxic.
It's not?
Considered toxic. I don't know. It's a chemical, right? So
Yeah. I also read that the helium is natural, and that the supply is real short. I read an article that said like 10 years from now, like there probably won't be all helium probably controlled by the government or something like that. I don't know if it's true or not.
Whoa! No more balloons. No more floaty balloons. Only the sad
They're
balloons.
They're gonna be dismal and
dude,
well,
I had no
there's got to be an answer for that. All right. So
that's funny, dude. Okay, hold on. No, take your idea. Here's like the easier way to do your idea. And it just would work. This is kind of spinning off of what you said, Richard. Bro, just sell freaking chairs. Just chairs and tables. And just, it would be so boring, but rent chairs and tables. You'll take over the entire wedding industry. You don't have to do any of like the complicated stuff.
Yep.
And it would work. It would just work. It would be easy.
I like combining the high revenue. So I wouldn't even call it profit margin, but like if you have a high revenue offering, it's easy to find margin in it. Right? I don't care if I make 90% margins on a $3 hat.
Yeah.
If I could make 30% margin on a $300 item, right? So it's just so I like combining those things like the chairs and tables with something that has some pop. So you get word of mouth. So I want the referrals. I want the business to self grow. And then, you drag through those add-ons. So like, that's why I'm thinking, well, balloon and bouncing, like if it's BBs or something, you just make it a shtick. And even if I'm not making money on helium balloons, the bounce houses, the tables, the tablecloth, the done for you party, all that stuff, that'll bring through the profit. But
no, that's smart. That's smart.
We should have got everybody beers first.
Oh my God, we should have. I have a beer. I'll go get it right now if that's what we need to be doing.
It's a little too early. Richard's got a flight to catch.
It's like 8 o'clock in California. You can't be drunk.
I didn't say drunk. I didn't say that.
Oh,
I said a beer.
Dude, I'm going to a wedding today. I have to start right now if I'm going to get through this in a healthy mindset.
No.
Is it outdoor or indoor?
Indoor.
Okay, that ain't bad though.
Yeah.
I hate outdoor weddings, man.
Really?
No way.
No, I don't. Okay, here's the thing I love about weddings. If it's a dry wedding, I hate every single one of the weddings, no matter what, because it's just like everybody's trying to dance, and you're like, nobody's dancing. Now, I will say this: I used to DJ weddings for money, and that was my side cash back in the day. And so I've been to, I could not count how many weddings I've been to, hundreds, right? And you just see what works and what doesn't work. But you don't like outdoor weddings? Why not? I guess it's a lot of bugs. I don't like the bugs.
Yeah. Well,
Oh, well.
I just hate sitting, and then you hate sitting in the heat, and then you don't know how the weather's going to be, if it's going to rain or it's going to do whatever, So.
Dude, that is real. You always sweat at a wedding too, and you're just sitting there talking to Aunt Martha you've never met. Hi Aunt. Anyways, dude, so you said you were homeless. How the hell does that change how you think about money? Like even act about money, like interact with like things that we probably like. I've been close to homeless. I've slept in my car for months on end, but I've never like fully been.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, we're one of the same, I suppose. But anyways, how does it has it changed how you thought of money, or has it changed you?
Yeah, it's weird though, because it's actually kind of a struggle still to this day. It's like when you have nothing, you always think to yourself, man, I can always go back to nothing. Yeah. So let me be as conservative and hold on as much as possible. But sometimes you just gotta once you get to a certain point in your life, you almost have to start letting it go. This is just a struggle of mine. I was always cheap. Like I was always had to be conservative. I always had to be cheap. Like ketchup packets all the time, mustard packets all the time. Or
Taco Bell sauce in the drawers. Do you have like a mild, medium, and hot drawer under the silverware drawer?
Yeah, but you get to a point where you have to start like looking at it like as you don't have to be as cheap as you used to be. But I was like super cheap.
Right.
Cheap all the time for years.
I so relate to this. I still have that problem. Like my wife last night, she had a water bottle and there was like maybe, 10% left, and she threw it away. And I felt myself panic on the inside. Like, what the hell are you doing? You paid money for that water bottle. There's water in the water bottle. You
Really?
just wasted that.
Whoa.
Yeah, isn't that dumb? And I still do it to this day because I've had the zero money where you're like, I really value the things that I can't purchase. What is it? A scarcity mindset?
My wife grew up like a missionary in Thailand, missionary kid, and so she's really used to I can't get her to spend money. Like I'm like, baby, please bankrupt us. Just try. Just buy yourself some clothes. What do you want? And I mean, I don't spend money like on her because I don't know what to buy her that she would like, but she doesn't either. And so it's really strange. Like I don't mind spending. I think my headphones were $600. That is dumb for headphones, right? That's just dumb. But in my mind, I'm like, well, I talk on recorded or unrecorded meetings for 6 hours a day, 5 days a week. $600 is nothing when you compare it to my income or the income of my employees or the revenue that we're going to drive for business. Like this is a tiny business expense. And if it makes me that much better at nuance or I can be that much more clear-minded, we can close one more deal because of these headphones. I mean, we could close a $100,000 deal this year because I caught nuance on $600 headphones.
Dude,
that I
just
wouldn't
hear
have
you
caught.
justifying your $600 headphones.
That's right.
This is the internal monologue that goes on in your head. I want
No,
these.
time is the only thing I'll never get back. I'll never get back my time. Money is easy to make. Money comes and goes, especially when you buy stuff that's expensive. It goes.
He justifying.
Yeah, I'm with Richard on this one. Okay. Second question. Richard, what do people think wrong about money?
One. Let's
Do it. He's gonna pick on me. Crap.
$600 headphones.
Yeah.
You know, it's so many things I feel that people could be doing better. I think that people just they like the idea. It's like the lottery. Everybody has lottery mentality. Like they think to themselves, man, it'd be awesome to win the lottery, but they really don't. And then after the lottery's played, they go back to their regular lives. They don't think about the impact that money really has on their life, and the money they spent on that lottery ticket, on the money they spent on that latte, the money they spent on the nuances, $600 headphones and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, they could take that money
Yeah.
and put it to work, because the goal is you're trying to buy back your time, right? You need to start investing in things to where your money starts making enough money to pay for your living expenses.
Yeah.
Right. So, like, for example, I tell all my students, or I tell all the people that I'm coaching, I say to them, write down all your expenses for a month. And then they're like, well, why should I do that? It's like, shut up and trust the process. They're going through and they're writing all this stuff down. That my rent is $1,000. I had one student say my rent was $1,000. My car was $1,500. I was like,
Oh shit. $1,500 a month
yeah, $1,500
on a car.
What car is that?
I was like, we got a Lambo?
Was he already a millionaire? Like, oh my gosh.
Another story. So I said, write down your car, house, water, electricity, gas, cable, everything. Write it down, how much you spend a month. And so they'll come up with a number. We'll say like $3,000 or something like that. I said, okay, your goal, you have 3 goals when it comes to finances. You need to subsidize your money, the money you can earn to pay for your lifestyle, just to live. And that's $3,000. Then you need a list of everything that will make you comfortable in life, and then you have a rich list. So if you do all those things, so $3,000 a month or probably a year, that's what you make to live.
Yeah.
Then you have a comfortable. So we'll say if you can live off 3, you for damn sure be comfortable on 6.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll be rich at like 15, maybe 16, maybe 20,000, right? So if you take that, so now once you know the number, then you can find out how to get to that number, because that's, it's all just math and numbers, right?
Yeah.
You make it $3,000. I say, okay, what makes income, right? So say if you save up Well, we talked about laundromats earlier, right?
Yeah.
I'm actually doing a deal right now at the laundromat. They want, now listen to this. Now tell me, does this make sense? They want 10% down. The laundromat is $300,000.
Okay.
It's $300,000, and the laundromat. I'm trying to do an owner financing deal. I go to the individual. He's retiring. He want to move to Miami or something like that. He don't want to deal with it no more. $300,000. I said, well, how much does business make? He said, profit to me makes $70,000. I said, okay, yeah, $70,000 is profit. So the business itself makes about 180, 170.
Okay.
But after you pay employees, water, cable, electricity, all that kind of stuff like that, it makes, to him makes about 70, right?
Mm-hmm.
After all the bills are paid. And I said, okay, well, so how you want me to pay you back? He said, okay, we'll make a payment plan. Whatever income you make, you give me half of that. I said, okay, so 75 divided in half.
Yep. 35K.
35,000. So I said, so in my first year, I'm gonna give you 30,000
and I'm gonna get 35 back.
35,000 at a business.
And your employees are gonna run it, not me.
Employees gonna run it. They're gonna do everything.
I like all this deal.
Text, and if something breaks, they call me and I send them money. So, so now we just talked about this, right? So $3,000 times 12 is 36,000. That laundromat, going to make 70. 70 minus your 30, well, divided by half, that's 35. So one laundromat, you saved up $30,000. You got this deal.
Yep.
And then now
Dude.
You're $1,000 short on your goal. One laundromat.
Dustin, you're wishing you bought a laundromat last year.
No,
he had an extra $30K from a bunch of work he had done, and he's like, "What do I do with this $30K? You want to buy inventory on an Amazon business?" I'm like, he wanted to do condoms
business, and we got conned out of it. It was terrible. But
oh, that's true. Yeah, we also got scammed.
But it's true to be said about any. So we talked about this a little earlier. So we talked about existing businesses, and then you talked about businesses that are your startup, right? Existing businesses have track records. They have employees. They have taxes. They have revenue. They have consistent customers. So if you buy a business, you buy a business that's been in business, you buy an existing business that's been in business for over 4 years, you have a 98% chance of success, right? Because you already have as soon as you look at the finances, because people send me stuff all the time. Mr. Richie, you want to buy this? You want to buy a damn daycare? And I'm like, okay, let's look at it. It's like, dude, you're losing $100,000 a month. $100,000 a year. What the hell I want to take this for? Well, maybe you could turn it around. I can't work a damn miracle.
No.
I don't got a genie in a bottle. The fuck I can do this?
I got my own kids to take care of, not your kids.
But see, for those individuals who probably was thinking about starting that up in that area and doing that, they're gonna waste 5 years of their life, which we talked about time. They can waste 5 years of their life doing that shit. So why waste my time when I can already look at pretty much a blueprint of everything you've done in the last 5 years, especially financially? Because if it don't financially make sense, all the rest of the shit. Well, this is for the kids in Africa. I don't give a fuck about that shit. If that shit ain't making money, then there ain't no point in doing it. And you can look at all that on the finances.
That's why that boomer insight, just like looking at, okay, people are retiring. It's retirement age time. And all those solo operators, what are they going to do? They don't have a 401k. They don't have a retirement account. This is not an IRA person. This is a person who worked their whole life. And what they have is what you see right here. That person really cares about that business. They also know that business. They want you to succeed, but they do not want to run it 2 years from now. So they don't know how to hire a kid to take over this. So they got to have somebody somewhat sophisticated that they can trust to just own this, absorb some of the risk, but then also share in the upside. It's easy to go to that age group in those businesses and go, hey, you want to work out a deal? It's hard to knock on a random door of a random laundromat and go, hey, are you profitable? Will you sell this to me? Because you say sell this to me. Like, well, what's the price? And like, well, are you profit? Like, it ends up wasting your time because they don't have the motivation to sell until it's like, well, I built this. Now I want to retire. That's the motivation. So that's the key insight that unlocks that owner finance strategy.
Yeah, but it's also too. It don't even really make a difference if it's a laundromat, if it's a Dunkin' Donuts, if it's a FedEx center. It don't make a difference. If you can get any business that's profitable on favorable terms,
yep,
that is absentee, that you don't have to work at, because like once you realize you can okay, for example, you can buy a business that makes you $1 million, but you have to work there 18 hours a day, or you can buy a business that you don't have to work at all. You work 1 hour, maybe a week, but that makes you $100,000. Like, which one would you take?
Right.
A lot of people like, is your time worth $1 million, or is your time just enough to get by?
Right.
An hour a week or hour a month. Like, what's the real goal? And I think I tell a lot of students, like, what do you want? Do you want to be rich and working, or do you want to be
doing whatever you want,
comfortable,
yeah,
and doing what you want and make a living wage, and setting up a system that way you can pretty much do whatever you want to whenever you got to.
My first career job was for a Silicon Valley startup, and they raised $77 million of venture capital and lost it all, totally bankrupt, laid off 250 employees on Christmas Eve. And that was like, oh, this is what happens when you want to be rich. Like when you want to be rich, you just go for a ride, you stress everybody out, you like say something is real, you just try to create a vision with your mouth, and you try to get other people in on it, including investors, workers. Nobody wins in when those bubbles pop, but it's all so that somebody can race to riches. I would much rather build.
Whoever started that company's probably still got money though. You know what I mean?
Oh my gosh, I hope not. I
because
hope not.
You look at every major corporation or entrepreneur who went through like raising capital and starting some big startup, and then that company falls or they go bankrupt and stuff like that.
They always build a parachute in.
Yeah, they already got a parachute. You get like every scenario I ever looked at. The one guy that had that one bank. I can't think his name, but the wild, crazy hair. I can't think his name.
Sam Bankman-Fried. That was that was the crypto company.
The crypto company.
Yeah.
And then I think I googled his net worth after that.
Oh,
I think he ended up raising $9 billion in crypto, but then his net worth was still in the $250 million range. So
just dumb scams, jail time. Dustin,
yo,
what business are you hot on right now?
Dude, I am so obsessed with AI, and I don't think it's a good thing for me to be this obsessed with AI. But I got a lot of AI businesses that I've been like kind of working with. Are you into Richard? Do you do tech at all? Are you interested in all that in that sector at all, even a little bit?
I'm like I don't even have a mic.
No, he's like, send me an Amazon link of the gear I need. Yeah.
I need to go to Amazon and give me a microphone.
Yeah. We got you.
Okay. Then I'm just gonna I'll throw out a few tech ideas, but I'll try to make them as. This is actually perfect because you would maybe be a customer and then you'd tell me like, yeah, this works, this doesn't work. Okay, so I've built a system that reads tabular data. So what does that mean? It means if you have a spreadsheet, it'll look at it, it'll tell you what's going on the spreadsheet. You can ask it complex questions like, hey, how much money am I going to have in 6 months or X amount of months if I do this, that, the other? Now, I'm running into problems right now because there's something called token size, and so I'm having to use different backgrounds for extremely large amounts of data. So let's say you want to look at 10 years of bank records. Okay, so it's my little pocket
Get to the
CFO.
point. What's the product?
The product is a Pocket CFO business, right? So where you plug any of your financial systems and any of your lead generation systems, any of all that together, and you can ask it, much like you would ask ChatGPT, hey, what's this going to look like next month? Hey, if we increase revenue by 6%, hey, do we have any anomaly purchases in the past? And it can just spit out all that information real time.
Natural language.
So it's pretty much like a summary for a business plan or a summary for like document or like your financials.
Exactly.
So you can
So you can be financially dumb because a lot of small businesses
I think people use
are
that
like,
because because people don't want to like go through the nuance. Some
No,
people are like real methodical, but like the big honchos, I don't
no
have time to
way.
sit there and
And
No,
you can
no.
also
The
be like,
people who are
hey,
doing deals don't want to.
oh yeah, or you
but
can
a lot
also
of
even be like, hey, I want to tell me every time that I've eaten out in the last 6 months. Hey, my employee Jane, on her credit card, when's the last time she ate out? Holy shit, she's eating out a lot. You can look at it for all of that stuff.
yeah, or like give me the averages of everybody's lunchtime between they clock in and clock out, or when last time they logged into their desk and logged out of their
Whoa.
desk.
Yeah,
And then
if it's on
and then say
tabular
if
data, you
you
can do it.
wanted to do downsizing, you could just put that metric in there and see who's not logged on to there, who
See,
had hours logged
He
in
gets it.
versus time worked metric.
okay,
And
which
then whoever's the lowest,
Dustin,
do a
stop
downside.
making the product and start building a wait list. Just make the landing
Yeah,
page,
that's
build
what I
a
need to
wait
do.
list.
I think you're absolutely right. What do you think? Good business, bad business? What do you think?
I would use it, but a lot of
But what would you
CEOs,
pay for it?
CFOs.
Using it is bullshit unless
Okay,
Dustin gets paid.
hold on. See, CFOs and CEOs would use that, but typically they have assistants to do all that data and stuff like that. But then I guess if they had the data, they wouldn't need the assistant, so they can get rid of them.
Or they can put the assistant onto more valuable
Yeah.
stuff.
They're
right?
also going to, a lot of companies these days are downsizing, right? So this is what makes this kind of dangerous is it's cheaper than ever to get a developer these days to build anything for you because they're all looking for jobs, which is crazy. It's just madness right now. So
I have 20 developers in Cairo, Egypt.
I know. Actually, I thought about calling you up. I'm literally on the edge of just like, Kendall, can I just have a few of your guys to help me do this?
Real quick, so like I see a lot of people online talking about like developers and all this tech company jobs, and man, they're everywhere. But then I see some people that'll say, "Man, it's rough out here. It's hard to get a job." I don't know if they're. I don't know.
Yeah.
I never looked into the space.
Dude, speak into that, Kendall. He knows.
Somebody lying.
Yeah, I know way too much on that shit. So I was an executive recruiter in tech for a year before I was running the businesses, and so I've done a lot of like headhunting and I understand the job markets. And then we have a software engineering business. We've had that for 5 years, and then we had for 3 years we've had a Cairo, Egypt staffing. So we have developers in Cairo, and we provide those to corporations. I got to pay attention to all of the market moves that are happening. And when we're doing our marketing for our businesses, we have to change our marketing based on kind of the environment, right? So when the news says layoffs, they're almost always just picking on the big name corporations that are attached to the stock market really, really intimately. They're almost never correlated directly with the smaller businesses that are just brick by brick. They're not blown around by the wind of the stock price, right? It's just those big corporations do layoffs. Well, the thing about their developers is their developers are working with 1,000 other developers. So they actually aren't good developers for you and me or a new project because they're used to like, well, my job is to animate the logo on 16 pages. Well, we have 6,000 pages, but I just do these 16 pages. Like there's these strange, that's a dumb example, but there's these strange niche jobs that these developers end up in. And that makes them not nearly as good as like the 24-year-old developer who's just been obsessive because he's been working on his own projects. You find that kid, and he's not making any money, except he's like, well, yeah, I'll sell you my time for $50 an hour. He thinks he's getting rich at $50 an hour when the developer over here from Google, like I just met a couple. One was Facebook developer, one was Google. He made $350 a year, and she made $275. They're both mid-level developers. They're not even senior developers. They're not executives. That is why Silicon Valley's bubble's popping, and that is where the VC money is going, and that is what's happening at the SVB bank collapse. Like, I get that there was some banking issues and some economic issues, but it happened there first because tech has been in a bubble in the Bay Area, California. But that is not necessarily the same as if we want to do an app and we just like, well, can we hire a developer for this? That could be really hard to hire the right developer to just build our own app. Or we could go find a kid who doesn't know his own value, who's just really good at building this.
You just want to exploit people. This is fantastic.
I want to give them an opportunity. I'm going to give them opportunity to make what they should make, and they'll know it when they're done working with us.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. So like these guys at the Silicon Valley, and all these big
That's
companies. That's
what you see in the news. Yeah.
They're focusing on the micro, and when the individual and their value is less because they're just like put in this box and they just focus on the box versus a person focusing on the big picture.
For your next hire, you got a bunch of boxes you were telling me that you need to move in your garage, right? You're going to go sell some product, right? For your next hire, if you wanted to hire somebody to go help you do all those steps and whatever you got to put online, or you got to go knock on some doors or make some phone calls, print some labels, whatever you got to do, there's a lot of steps, and they're not the same type of job. These are 7 different types of jobs. Well, every entrepreneur that's good is good at all 7 types of jobs, or they're half good at it and they're willing to put in the work. Would you rather go get a bank teller, the person who 40 hours a week, just like, yes, sir, here's your $40. Let me check your bank account. Here's your receipt. Hey, can you give me the PIN for that? That's their job. Would you rather do that, or would you rather go get like the bartender and be like, yo, this is your nighttime job. What are you doing during the days? Are you want to help me? What's your price? Example. It's just one person has to do everything themselves, and one person is in such a system that they become worthless and high expectations, high entitlement.
Bro, I would hire a bartender all day long. Think about it. They deal with stress. They deal with people at their best and their absolute worst with a smile on their face. And they're hardworking.
People, they're like therapists. They're cocktail.
Right? Right? Actually, that's good. If you're a bartender and you're ready to quit, just DM us what your price is and tell us what you're good at. And
they're probably good with money too, because they get paid pretty much mostly in tips, and they got to save that money to pay their bills.
Bro, they can make a good drink. That's the important thing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
After them labels are put up, I need a martini.
Yeah, exactly that. Okay. We should.
But real quick, back to his point, you was talking about learning from it. Would you rather hire a person who a bank teller? They might be consistent. They might, be professional and stuff like that, or would you rather have a bartender? I tell people this all the time. Like, you go to college and you learn business from a professor.
From a professor, not a business person.
from a person who studies business law, who's never ran a business, who's never had employees. They're just good at teaching, right? And then you come to somebody like me, they're gonna charge you $50, $60, $100,000 for this damn degree.
Yeah, right.
And somebody like me comes along who's in the streets every day, trying to make it, running business and stuff like that. And then I'll be like, yo, my time is not worth it. If you want to, I'll teach you something, or I'll teach you how I'm doing things. Give me $300. And you're like, $300? What? Are you crazy? I'm like, you'd be surprised, man. It's like, okay, well, fine then. Go to college.
Go to college. I didn't go to college. By the way, I just skipped that shit.
Yeah. Hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you good?
Sorry, Dustin.
Oh, you good? It's okay, man.
Dustin has a really good degree.
I don't believe in my degree, but I'm going back to get more. That's the fun.
Dustin's going back to college. That's the great irony.
It is. Yeah. It's Did I tell you that when I started? Oh yeah. Don't do it. Dude, when I started college, I took a survey, and they said, the survey was just like, oh, we're just going to measure the odds that you're going to finish college. And they gave me a 3% chance to finish college. And I think that's probably, yeah. I think that's why I finished it. Cause I was like, nah, screw you. I'm going to do it. I'm just going to do it.
Don't tell me I can't do this.
Yeah, it's the worst, man. It was the worst motivation on planet Earth. And I don't regret it, but
to be fair, you're going not to make money. You're going to be a better human. I like learn. I actually just like the culture of being around people who are trying to learn things. And some of them are a bunch of little shits who don't really know what they're doing. And they're like, ooh, I'm so smart. And you're not. No, you're not. But it's just fun being around places where people ask a lot of questions, because I like asking a lot of questions.
Okay.
He's going to Oxford, Richard. He's going to Oxford.
Yeah. Okay. Something about me is that I'm in the military. I'm about to retire, right? But they push you, especially in the Air Force. they push you to go to school, right? So got my master's, double master, it's like 4 associate's degrees. I'm never going to use any of this stuff, but they constantly push me. And I almost get more benefit out of telling people that, I went to Harvard, or I went to LSU, or I went to wherever, so all these different schools.
Right.
It's more beneficial to do that. To
have the narrative.
Yeah, because people, it's almost like you're validated in what you're saying. People just don't look at you like you're a fucking idiot and stuff like that.
Right.
Because I dress down too. And
right.
I go to the country club. I try to eat some chicken. Oh man, I want something to eat something nice. And then look at me and they're like, what the fuck are you doing here?
You're like, I'm here for fried chicken. That's what I'm here for fried chicken, please.
The golf course got the best damn chicken fried steak in town. So, and I get to talk to some of these individuals. They're in like that little golf gear and they're in their suits. And they're like, oh,
no.
What do you do? I was like,
I hate that.
Sometimes I'm like, y'all finna rub this shit in this guy's face.
I do deals.
Sometimes I was like, I just do me. And I just walk off.
Yeah.
They're like, what the fuck? But hey, it is what it is. So,
dude,
I like to pick and choose. Like
I love that. What you described there, though, like when you go to a place where somebody's all dressing pretentious, is the thing I hate with like a flaming passion. And actually, that's something I miss about California. Because in California, I don't think they do it as much. California,
no, I like, yeah, a lot of pieces over here on the West Coast. Like, you don't know who you're sitting next to. You could be talking to somebody who's running a $80 million company. You could be talking to somebody who retired when they were 27, or you could be talking to a barista who's 27, and it looks like they're 40 because they've done so much drugs. Like you never know. You never know.
It's like that at the country clubs in Florida because every major it's kind of weird. You have communities, and then you have every community has a golf course, and there's more prestigious golf courses than others, right? You get on a golf course and then they're like, yo, I got a tea time with this individual and they're behind you or ahead of you. And you just get to talk with some of these people and you'd be surprised because everybody just wears like golf gear or they're just wearing like just their casual clothes. And you're like, wow, really? I met an individual who sells the computers. Like, okay, so when you go slide your debit card and you sign that machine, that guy was one of the guys who like found it. He was one of the ones who invented
who made the machine. Yeah.
He made the screen. He made and sell just the screen that you sign on debit cards.
That's great.
And then I was like, yeah, I'm not trying to be in your business, but how much does someone like that make?
Yeah.
He said, I got a lump sum at first, but it's somewhere in the range of like 50 a year. And I was like,
50 what a year? Million. Yeah. 50 million in revenue or in earnings?
I don't know. I just heard 50 M's for a bit of the fucking screen that someone signed.
So literally the licensing, the things that you can like build a moat around and own forever, that technology, those are good plays. What I hate is people who think they can just go make a better app or software and go get rich doing it because like I think what you don't realize is even if you blow up, you're the next TikTok, you get tons of users. Now you need to be like a professional CEO operator to stay ahead of all the sharks who are going to come take you out. And you better be good at running a scaled business because like careful what you wish for. You get all those users and pretty much somebody else, you're just a feature. You're a feature. An app is usually a feature of Google could just release a feature and roll over you like a steamroller. Like you have to stay ahead. Zoom had to they made Skype, right? Big whoop. Yeah. We've had Skype for a long time. They made Skype a little better. Okay. So they had to go build an operation to stay ahead. And like, is that what you want for your life? You want to be working 100 hours a week for the next 30 years? Or you want to go buy 16 laundromats and sip Mai Tais in Hawaii?
Yeah.
Right? You got one life.
A lot of people get. I talk about laundromats a lot because I've been looking for one for a while that actually worked for me. But it don't really necessarily have to be a laundromat. It could be any existing business. I'm going to do
balloon and bouncing. That's what I'm going to do.
It got to be an existing business. My criteria is cash flow, positive, pre-existing, absentee owned. And generally seller financing. I can get approved. I can go out and get a loan. I can go out and probably raise money and stuff like that. But if I can handle the transaction from a person to a person, and I just give them residual, revenue for pretty much the next for 5 years or something like that, generally they'll take it because they already have enough. They have enough of an essay that they made sitting on that business, and they just don't want to do it no more. They just want to find someone who's going to take care of it.
I owner financed a software business. So it was 5 developers, 12 clients, and a project leader, and it was $350,000 or something. We paid them $8,000 a month. We basically paid them half of the earnings, just like your deal. We put $50,000 down, and we ended up just like getting their processes. We got their kind of referral network, got their team, and we didn't make much money. Dustin, weren't you? Dustin was with me when we.
Yeah, dude. That's when I was your employee. Remember that?
Yeah. Dustin actually pressed the send the $50,000 because it was a fun moment. We were in Hawaii for a concert, and actually we wired him the money that day. But that was fun. If owner financing is like this thing people need to understand, you don't go to someone and say like, will you do owner financing right out the gate? You go, how much you want for the business and what's the price? If your price is fair based on what the actual cash flow is, I'm going to think about the terms I would need from that. I'll get back to you. Go figure out your terms and come back, It's just, at the end of the day, I feel like creative financing is this thing that is, can you do the math confidently and deliver the value prop back to the seller, or can't you? It all comes down to like, I confidently will pay you back in this structure. And if you can just convince them it's reasonable, right? I'm going to run it, not you anymore. This seems reasonable. This seems fair. You get some, I get some.
Yeah. But you have to take it, you have to be almost likable too. You have to convey a message to an individual that
trustworthy
and that I'm competent to run a business, know. And then I typically in every conversation, or even if I'm doing it via text or I'm doing it via email or something like that, the general question is, if I gave you what you want for this, how long will you let me give you to pay you back? Right? Because that's pretty much all it is. If they say no, then it's no. But, it's just kind of to the point.
That's great. They're like, I don't know, 2 years. You're like, make it 5. Make it 5 and I'm in.
Then after that, it's pretty much negotiating after that.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
And then you don't ever say anything about, oh, man, I see some people be like, yo, I'm going to give you a down payment. I'm going to pay you. I'm going to pay you back in a year. Like, you're going to shoot yourself in the foot. Don't do that.
Yeah. Do you teach students this? Is that what I heard you reference at the beginning?
Yeah, well, I teach anybody on how to get into anything that they can make money on using either other people's money or terms from the sellers or just any type of aspect of getting capital from other people's hands. Yep. Pretty much your hands with little to no capital from your end, Man. And or at least if you do, you try to recoup that money within so many years, 2, 3, 4 years is kind of pushing it. You put $25,000 down on something and it only pays you $3,000. $25,000, you're not getting your money back for 9 years plus. So it's just like that's not really worth it. But if you can put $25,000 down in that business or that property or real estate or something like that, it's going to make you $25,000 that first year. I mean, why wouldn't you do it? Now you just got to come up with the $25,000, which I teach you how to do that too.
You just, how many $600 headphones goes into $25,000?
That's so funny, Richard. Where do people find you? If anybody wants to learn about you and your finance and all that stuff, where's everybody looking to get you?
I'm deep in the streets. I'm everywhere.
Yeah,
so
he's on the street.
TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. I was on Clapper because TikTok might be banned.
Clapper?
We've never heard of it.
I've never heard of Clapper.
But a lot of people are transitioning to Clapper. It's like the step brother to TikTok. No one's really But it's once you go on that platform, it's literally the same thing.
Got it.
It's
Dude. Yeah, you're
pretty
not
much
into
the same
tech, whatever. You knew something we didn't know about that stuff. I had no idea.
and their reach is a little farther too. So like you can upload and you can go a whole because there's not a lot of people on the platform, but a lot of people are going there recently because of
That's
they might
actually
get
not
that-
a bad reason to go do content somewhere, just because
Yeah.
they need the creators, right? And so getting
Yeah.
good creators is really hard to steal away from the big
Yeah,
dogs.
it was three. I can't think of the other one. Rizzle's like that too, but Rizzle is doing a transition. Rizzle is like TikTok too. I got like 1 million followers on there. Every time I throw something on there, it gets 30, 40,000 views. But I think they're doing like a transition.
Which
There's also-
platform pays the most?
Damn near none of them. You pretty
Yeah.
much have to like
But like if you okay, let me ask the question different then.
YouTube. YouTube is
YouTube.
decent, but I mean it's
Not
it's what
great.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you had to have 500,000 followers on any platform, would you choose YouTube over the other ones?
No.
Okay, for views and making money on the app itself, probably YouTube. But if I
Okay.
had to like try to sell people on something
Okay.
or to click my link,
Yeah,
and
like yeah.
negotiate
Let's do business. Yeah.
Yeah, TikTok is probably it, man.
Really.
Nah, dude. Podcast. I think podcast is the most valuable platform.
Oh,
if you
sure.
have
If they're
a
gonna listen to you
sticky
for an
enough-
hour.
yeah, if you're gonna give somebody an hour's time, damn, that's impressive. But then I say
Yeah.
YouTube. I agree with him on YouTube.
Yeah, but half a million followers on a podcast is like there's only a couple podcasts that do that.
Yeah.
Right.
But actually, a 500,000 followers on Twitch will make you rich.
Oh,
Because the top creators in the world only have like 150,000, and they're getting like $6 million a month or something like that.
and if you like today's episode, follow us on Twitch. It's at Idea Drop and at The Rich Get Richer. The Rich Get Twitchered.
but a lot of people on Twitch they're live streaming all day, and people just want to see how people move throughout the day, and they just do stupid stuff on there, and they do challenges on there, and it's comical. They're getting millions of dollars a month just to live stream their lives, and people want to watch it. So I don't know. It is what it is.
I don't want people watching my life. I want
don't
I want my
think people
nights and
watch my
weekends to
life.
myself.
that's funny.
Watch me chase kids around the house all day.
It's
Or
yeah,
something.
right. How old's your kids?
Shit.
Yeah. Me too.
One just turned 22.
Okay, that's the oldest.
Yeah, and then 14, 12, and
Oh,
9.
you're right ahead of me. So I got a young one is 1, and then my oldest one is 11. So, and I got 5. So they're all stacked in between there. So we got a 9-year-old that, statistically speaking, I probably have a 9-year-old if I were to guess. So we got that in common.
You next. You gonna go to that wedding? You gonna get the baby fever?
Oh boy,
Dustin.
dude, we already do have the baby fever. My wife is like, "So you want to have a baby this month?" And dude, I'm
Are you scared?
terrified of doing it before I feel like we're ready. But of course, there's no such
You're
thing.
never
You're never
ready.
ready. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you're never ready. You just do it.
Life is scary. Just get her done.
That's right. That's probably true.
Yeah,
That makes
when she shows up with that little chart, like, yo, my
Yeah.
ovulation.
Yeah,
is,
dude, that's exactly it. It's exactly that thing. Oh my god,
if
that's
you
100%.
if you say no, she gonna resent you, man.
I know. It's a terrible.
No, you're trapped.
I'm in trouble. Just
You
talking
put a
about it.
ring on it. You gotta be all in.
I did put a ring on it.
This is fun.
This is fun. All right, bros.
But
I
you
gotta
know-
take off though. Oh, what were you gonna say?
I say, yeah. As soon as you find out she's pregnant, you'll age just like us, man. You go from 21 to 41.
Exactly.
I
it.
didn't
That's
I didn't do drugs, but I'm a daddy now.
That is true. That's funny.
Yep.
That's hilarious.
Yep. And shows
Oh my
in
God.
my eyes. I sleep 4 hours. Yep.
That's hilarious.
Sleep.
Yeah. Well, I nap every night.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, this is fun, Richard. It's really nice having you.
Oh, yes,
And,
sir. Yes, sir.
Appreciate it. We've been chatting on I think we DM on TikTok, and I think you're the first person I've ever DM'd back and forth with on TikTok before.
Yeah. That DM on that app sucks. I don't even know.
does.
Like,
No, yeah. But we got here. We scheduled it. We didn't, We're grown ass men who can set our own appointments on DMs on TikTok.
Yeah, it's a great world. And when the app is gone,
Yep.
hey, I
We'll
got your
be
number.
somewhere else. Yeah, you got my number.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Dustin, have fun. Go to your wedding. Get your wife pregnant.
I will.
See you on the other side.
I will. Bye, guys.